Hi there. I'm just going to briefly go over what it takes to start a partnership in Indiana. This is for limited partnerships, limited liability partnerships, both domestic and foreign. Now, you'll notice that there's no general partnership tutorial here, and that's because you actually don't need to file with the Secretary of State, and this tutorial is dedicated specifically for the registration process of the Secretary of State, so we haven't incorporated that into our tutorial. Now, you'll notice that there is both online and PDF filing options here. That's because they've offered for foreign and domestic LPs and LLPs both options, which is rare because for LLCs and corporations on their website, only domestic entities are able to do so. So we totally recommend that you take advantage of that and that you use the online filing process because, for one, it'll be $5 cheaper across the board at $85 versus $90. And also, it's just more streamlined, and it'll submit your application right away, and you'll get confirmation quicker through email as opposed to them having to send correspondence through the mail. If you plan, I'm going to go over this now, but we're not going to do the PDF tutorial quite yet. But if you are filing by PDF, for whatever reason you decide to do so, there is no name availability search within your filing process, of course. So you'll need to perform a business entity search beforehand just to make sure that the name that you plan on using for your partnership or the name that you currently have for your partnership if you're a foreign entity is unique to you in the state of Indiana. If that's not the case, you'll be rejected upon submission. Also, if you plan on filing at a later date, but you've committed to forming in Indiana or registering in Indiana, you might want to file for a name reservation. We have a tutorial for that here. It's $10. You'll learn a little bit more just by clicking here, and it's fairly straightforward and can be useful. So the domestic LP and LLP online filing process and the foreign LP and LLP filing processes are really similar. So similar, in fact, that I've incorporated both of them into one here, and then the foreign LP and LLP is also combined. I'm not going to go over the foreign one because essentially it's the same, but we'll just do one, and I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. The first thing you're going to need to do is navigate to this website, and once you're there, you're going to notice a window that looks like this. In the middle column, you'll see the Start a New Business. Now, if you're reserving a name, actually, I won't go over this too much here, but if you're going to reserve a name, you have the link there. But for now, we're going to start a new business. Click on this, and you'll be brought to a window that looks like this. Now, the first thing you want to do is click on Entity if it's not already selected. Choose your entity type, and then submit your email address. And what this will do is it'll allow the Secretary of State to give you updates on your filing if necessary. And using your email address as well as your transaction ID, you can stop your filing halfway through and come back to it. You can also get updates on it and log into your account and see how things are going. So once you've entered that anyway, you can click Continue. And you move on to the name availability search I was just talking about. Now this looks pretty much identical to the one that you would perform if you are a PDF filer. All you need to do is submit your name here, choose between full word search and partial word search, and click search. And what you're really looking for is for a window that looks like this, because it says it appears to be available to continue registering the business entity with this name, continue below. So pretty straightforward. If you get a list of names that look really similar to yours, like I typed in earlier like Smith and there's like 20 names that came up, it means that you're probably going to get rejected. So make sure that the name you're submitting is fairly unique to your entity. After this, you'll get to choose your suffix. As you can see here, we've got limited partnership, LP, and then L.P. The same can be said for limited liability partnership. And then click Continue when you're done. And this is the part where the entity name, transaction ID, and email address are given. And as I said before, you can use that to log back in and check up on your registration. They'll also give you some information here on how to go about doing that and a few terms that may be valuable before continuing. Finally, step 6 is where you will enter the articles for your formation, or for your formation, because this is domestic. on the top right hand side of each window, it's not shown here, but there's a plus sign and open, and you'll need to click on all of those so that you can get your windows to look like this. And then just supply all the information they ask. It's super basic in Indiana. All they ask is the principal address of the entity, and that's not even mandatory. Like this this dot here represents optional, and then the X is something that you need to do. So you can enter in the principal address, then the registered agent information. Click on this box to check that they actually confirm that they're going to be the registered agent. Also, all your general partners will be entered in Article 3. General information like the effective date and the, what did that say there? Latest date upon which the entity is to be dissolved is here. And then any other provision you want to add, then click submit and check out. Same thing pretty much for LLP. A little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. Following this, you'll be able to review your the information you submitted. If you're cool with it, you can select continue here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's actually within the sentence here in lowercase, continue. And then after that, you'll be able to check out by paying with credit card or by a subscriber account. The next page, if you choose credit card, it should look something like this. You can enter your card information and finish your filing. So as I said, I'm not going to go over the online process, but let's just skip right ahead to the PDF files. This is really basic. I'm just going to go over one because all of them are essentially the same. You print off your PDF that we have actually provided here, startupbusiness.org, so you don't even need to go to the Secretary of State website. And you're going to want to fill it out in its entirety, and then of course print it off, sign the bottom and print your name, and then make a copy of it. After this, you'll mail it in with the filing fee made out to the Secretary of State in check or money order form, and send all of that to this address here. Now the only difference if you are filing a foreign LP or LLP is that you might need to, let's see here, actually no, my mistake, it's not necessary. Disregard that. It's the exact same process for foreign entities as well. So yeah, again, just attach your filing fee, send it down here, and once you've finished that and you've received correspondence saying that it's been accepted, you're going to want to go ahead and file for a employer identification number. This can be applied for on the IRS website. It just allows you to hire employees, open bank accounts, get credit cards in the company name, things of that nature. It also allows for the IRS to recognize you as a legitimate tax-paying entity. Partnership agreement, not completely necessary, but totally and completely recommended by us here at startupbusiness.org because it allows you to delineate the nature of the partnership with the partners themselves. Now that seems kind of vague. What you might want to do is click on this. We've got a full explanation as to why you should incorporate this into your business, and also we have a free template for the Microsoft Word and Adobe PDF formats. And finally, renewal. You'll have to renew every other year in the state of Indiana by submitting your business entity report to the Secretary of State. And that'll enable you to stay in good standing, and it'll keep the Secretary of State updated with, the small amount of information that they ask of business owners. If you choose to do this online, it'll cost you $20. If you want to do it by PDF, it'll cost you $30. And there's more instructions actually on the government website about each one of those processes. We haven't done a specific tutorial for that just because it's so straightforward. But if you click on this link here, the online process will be laid out to you. And if you click on this link here, the PDF process will be laid out to you. And you'll be able to send your PDF to this address once you've completed it. I hope this was helpful, guys. Best of luck to you.